What is trending? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my beautiful people. This is your guy, MC for real, live and direct from New York City. I say they hot, I say make I bring and come in and notice the latest news, the latest gist, the latest gossip in town. Make I put am for una body as e dey hot. You know they say every day na for thief, but one day na for the owner. E don set, e don tey wey una daddy Gio, our own mommy Gio don dey collect money for our hand. They say may we give this, may we provoke God, may God bless us, may we do this, give God the biggest seed, give God the biggest offering, may God take bless you. But as I tell you now before, he don said, they don expose them, oh God himself. He enter inside this great man of God, our own papa, our own daddy. Because he don tell where the man, if you talk everywhere, they shake. God then put am for him mind, say make he expose them this time around. He explain everything, say there is no amount of money, there is no amount of things wey you fit give God, wey go provoke God. Because now he create everything. Wetin he need from you, he no need money, he no need anything. Only wetin God need for your hand, he say na your mind, your faith, your praise. Na him God need, no be money, no be car, no be property. God no need those things. He say make we open our eyes and shine our eye. Make e no be like say I too dey talk too much. I wan make una lis ten to this ogbonge news as e dey hot. If this is your first time wey you dey come across this my page, I beg my brother and sister, make una subscribe, make una click the subscribe button and make your comment know concerning this matter. If wetin this man dey talk, if una correct, make una put am. If una still get any other opinion, make una still put am. May we expose these people, may we let the whole world know the latest thing wey dey happen, so that we can save our people from poverty, so that we can save our people from all this fake daddy Gio wey full town. I beg my people, make una enjoy this video. Bye bye, see you guys next time.
Let's talk about tithing then, following from this conversation. You used to be a believer in tithing. The general principle of tithing is that it is a commandment of God from the Bible. It was first done by Abraham to Melchizedek. It was expected to sustain and promote Abraham's wealth. It has been used by pastors to say that the devourer will be rebuked for your sake. Did you say some of these things? Did you used to say some of these things?
Now, this is the foundation you need to understand about me. When I came into the ministry, learning from those that were ahead of me. So whatever they taught, I taught. Whatever they did, I did. As a young pastor growing, I didn't check the Bible for myself. I just copied from what I saw them do.
You didn't read the Bible?
I read, but not with the lenses that I was supposed to read with. Because all I knew was what I was taught. But I grew in ministry. And then I looked at the book again and I began to check some things. And I discovered some of the things were wrong. So you preached
the pro-tithe message before?
Oh yes, I did.
And you told people
and
to bring their tithe to the church?
Very radically. And I asked people to pay their tithes.
Did people come to complain to you in those days that they were paying their tithe and they were not seeing results?
Oh, some of them. Myself inclusive. I was paying my tithe too.
And you were not seeing results?
Yes, I was paying my tithe
When you say you're not seeing results, what does it mean?
Again, so what is results? What's your definition of
because
results?
Because it says, the church has been told that if you pay your tithe, you open the windows of heaven, you pour out blessing to you, you will not even have enough place to keep it.
But can I be honest with you? So many tithers, 90% tithers have room in their houses that has not been filled. So
you mean 90% of tithers have not received that blessing?
Their houses are not filled to overflowing like Malachi promised.
But the blessing of the tithe, is it only money? He said, rebuke the devourer for your sake.
And
that's not money.
He will give you blessings that you will not have enough store.
Yeah, but the rebuke the devourer is not money. So
but
maybe
you
didn't see money.
You don't need to tithe for the devourer to be rebuked.
No, I'll come to that. But I'm saying that the scripture that they have used contains this information.
3,
yes,
that Malachi
it contains
3.
that
but
information.
But again, it's good to clarify.
Yeah.
Who was Malachi 3 addressed to?
Tell us.
It was not addressed to believers. It was addressed to priests, pastors who are collecting tithe and are not paying tithe. So Malachi said to those pastors, you have robbed me
Yes.
People pay you tithe. You are not tithing the tithe.
To who?
The priests were to pay tithe to senior priests.
So that's biblical?
Yes, biblical.
Priest to pay tithe to
Yes,
senior priest.
in the law of Moses, yes.
So
And
in
they
the
were
law of
taking
Moses,
the tithes
in
from
the
the
law
people,
of Moses,
and
the
they were taking the
priesthood,
tithes from the people,
yes,
but they were not paying their
the
own
priesthood
tithes.
was restricted to a certain tribe.
The Levites.
Yeah, the Levites
Yes.
in the law. So this is about the Levites.
Yes.
So it's about you are saying Malachi 3
It's addressed to the Levites.
is about addressed to the Levites who were not tithing.
Yes, not to believers.
Not to believers.
Yes.
But you, in the context that you explain, you already have found that believers were tithing. You said the believers
the
tithed
Old
to the priest
Testament,
and the priests were not tithing.
Exactly.
So the Bible had recognized the believers tithing.
Yes.
And the believers were tithing as according to the law.
Yes.
Okay. Has that law changed?
But you need to also know that there are 3 tithes.
Before I come to 3 tithes, let's stay with this one.
Okay.
You
The
are
law has
explaining-
changed.
You are explaining to us
Yes,
that Malachi
okay.
is not about believers.
Yes, so the law
It's
has
about-
changed.
So that law
It has changed.
by which the believers were tithing to the priest.
It has changed.
It has changed?
Yes.
Who changed it?
Hebrews chapter 7. I can read it for you.
Where? Hebrews chapter 7 changed Malachi.
Yes, Hebrews chapter 7.
Okay, what did they say?
He said, because there is a change of the law, there is also a change of the priesthood.
But Jesus Christ said he has not come to change the law, but to fulfill it.
What's the meaning of
Now-
fulfill?
Now, Jesus and Hebrew,
No, the question
who
is-
should we take?
So the question is, what's the meaning of the word fulfill? Because the Bible is not an English book, it has its own language.
So
What's
where
the
is it
meaning
coming
of
from?
Fulfill.
Where's the fulfill coming from? He says,
Okay.
I have not
So
come
the
to
word fulfill
change the law.
is not your English fulfill.
What is it?
The word fulfill there is, I am not come to destroy the law, Matthew 5:17.
Yes.
But to satisfy the demands of the law. That's the word fulfill.
How is that different from fulfill?
Oh, it's different.
In the context
It's
of
different.
not changing something.
It's different. Because to fulfill the demands of the law means the law demanded something in the Old Testament that nobody could satisfy. So Jesus
Righteousness. Is it
No.
righteousness you're talking
Yes,
about?
righteousness
The law
by
demanded
works,
righteousness
righteousness
that
by
couldn't
works,
satisfy. Yeah.
and nobody could meet the works that were required by the law.
Yes.
So Jesus came, met all the demands, satisfied the law, and took the law out of the way. Romans 10:4. Christ is the end of the law for righteousness.
Absolutely.
To everyone who believes.
So how?
So he took the law.
So
out
which of the laws did he change? All of it?
He changed all the laws of Moses, 612 of them.
So obey thy father, thy mother and father, and your days may be long.
That's
Has been
not the
replaced
law.
with what?
That's not the law.
What's
Honor
that?
your father and mother is the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments are different from the laws.
What is the law?
The law of Moses was 612. The 10 commandments were only 10.
When Jesus says, I have come to
Fulfill
the
the
law,
is
he's
the law
referring
of
to
Moses.
600. He's not referring to 10 commandments.
10 commandments.
So 10 commandments didn't change.
They didn't change.
That's confusing.
Because the 10
How do
commandments-
you lead me to that path? That Jesus says, I've come to change, fulfill the law. The law he refers to is not 10 commandments. So where is it written that
It's
this
clear.
law that Jesus refers to is
Yes.
613 laws of Moses
Yes.
and not the 10 commandments?
Yes,
Where is it
because
written?
in the New Testament, which is actually the interpretation of the Old Testament. Old Testament, Jesus concealed. New Testament, Jesus revealed. Old Testament, types, shadows, prophecies, promises. New Testament, types, shadows, prophecies, promises, fulfilled in the reality, which is Christ. Now, so when you read the Old Testament has two things. The law of Moses, which is 613 laws, and has blessings and curses attached. The 10 commandments, which were given by the angels on the mountain, which does not have curses attached, only blessings. Jesus comes and talks about them in the New Testament, in the Gospels, as 2 commandments. Love the Lord your God, love your neighbor.
Yes.
Which becomes the lifestyle of the believer in the New Testament. The love walk.
So Jesus amended the 613 into 2.
No, he didn't amend. Actually, he didn't amend. Okay? He abolished the 613 laws.
Into 2 now.
No, he abolished them.
All of them.
He took them out of
You haven't showed me where he said he's abolishing though.
Oh, in the book of Hebrews again.
Jesus said, I am
In
abolishing.
the book of Hebrews.
Who wrote Hebrews?
Now, who wrote Hebrews?
Yes.
We don't know who wrote Hebrews.
So why do you say?
But who was the letter written to?
Why do you
Believing
say-
Jews, non-believing Jews will be believing Jews.
You don't know who Hebrews letter was written to.
It was written to believing Jews, non-believing Jews will be believing Jews.
Okay,
Why
fair
was
enough.
the book of Hebrews written?
Now, what is written in Hebrews that suggests that Jesus said, I am abandoned?
Hebrews chapter 8.
What did he say?
He says he has taken away the old that he may establish the new. that if the old covenant had been faultless, there would be no need for the new. But because finding fault with them, God said, I will take away the old covenant and I will give you the new one.
But covenant, was it with Moses or was it with Abraham?
The old covenant started with Abraham.
Yes.
But Moses became a partaker of it, of course.
Well, all of us have become partakers there.
We are not partakers of the old covenant.
Now, so this
we are
old,
partakers
so
of the new covenant.
The written, in the Hebrews writing, which says the covenant, it should be reference to Abraham, because it was with Abraham that the word covenant was used, that God had a covenant with Abraham. It didn't quite say God had a covenant with Moses.
He did.
He had a covenant with Moses, it says so?
Yeah.
Okay, so if then it says covenant in Hebrews, why are you saying it's Moses but it's not Abraham?
Well, again, Moses was the person who amplified the old covenant, because Moses was the one who gave the covenant to the children of Israel in the day when they left Egypt to the promised land,
The
which is
600
Exodus.
is a covenant.
The 612 laws are not the covenant.
Yes.
They are not the covenant.
Yes, so but the Hebrew says he has changed the old covenant. He didn't say the laws.
Now, you see, this will require a lot of explanation. Okay, and I don't think we have the time, because when it comes to doctrinal subjects, it takes time to interpret and explain. And we have to have scriptures.
I think this is quite simple, Prophet. The word covenant is used. Jesus
The
says,
word
I've come to
covenant-
change the covenant.
No,
you
he
said
didn't say
started
I've come to change the
That's
covenant.
what you told me that he
No,
said
no,
in
no.
Hebrew.
I said in the book of Hebrews, God took away the old covenant to establish the new one.
How do you know
Hebrews
that?
chapter 8.
How
It's
do you know?
right there.
What did he say? What are the words?
It says, this is the covenant that I will make with your
Correct.
fathers.
So he used the word covenant.
And what's the word covenant?
Now the covenant he made
Covenant
with our
there.
fathers was made with Abraham.
The covenant
and it has to
there.
do with the circumcision.
So the covenant there is not your English covenant. And the covenant had nothing to do with the circumcision. The word covenant is the Hebrew word epangelia. Epangelia means a self-fulfilling promise. That is, God made a promise to Abraham that only God will fulfill. He didn't need Abraham to have any part in the fulfillment of that promise, epangelia. And that self-fulfilling promise.
So the
that
word
God
covenant used is not appropriate.
It's not the English covenant. It's Bible covenant, which is epangelia from the original.
Fair enough.
Which means
How
a
does it then
self-fulfilling
refer
promise.
to Moses excluding Abraham?
Well, he will refer to Moses excluding Abraham because Moses is the father of the law. The law was given by Moses. The law was given by Moses.
The scripture said covenant. It didn't say law.
Well, again, you need to understand that under the old covenant, where Moses operated, he gave laws under that covenant.
So we should understand covenant in Hebrews to mean the law of Moses.
No, plus the promise of God. All of that
context,
constitutes
in all
the
of that
old
context,
covenant.
however, the Ten Commandments remain sacrosanct. That
Oh,
hasn't
they
changed.
remain sacrosanct. They
Where do
don't
you get
change.
that from?
That's what the Bible teaches.
That the Ten Commandments remain sacrosanct.
Yes.
But the law of Moses has
Yes,
gone.
that's why Paul in Ephesians will say to children, honor your father and mother. For this is the great commandment with a promise, not with a curse.
When Jesus Christ said, I have come to fulfill the law, he
I've
was
come
asked,
to meet the demands of the law.
yes, when he said that, he was asked questions about the Ten Commandments. He wasn't asked questions about the law of Moses.
No.
He was asked questions about,
In
he said
Matthew
that a
chapter
man
5.
has done so.
No. That's not, he was dealing with the law of Moses. He said, you have heard it has been said of old, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's stuff. But I say,
And these are all the law, not the Ten Commandments.
these are the laws, yes.
The Ten Commandments doesn't have thou shalt not commit adultery.
Well, the Ten Commandments have thou shalt not commit
Yes,
adultery.
it does, certainly
but
does.
remember, the spirit of the Ten Commandments is love for God and love for your neighbor. So actually, the Ten Commandments is a love walk.
No, I'm confused. Ten Commandments has those things you listed.
The-
When Jesus said, have you not been told? All the things Jesus listed are contained in the Ten Commandments.
So the New
But
Testament.
you say that Jesus didn't change the
So
Ten
the New
Commandments.
Testament
Yeah.
interprets the Old Testament. In the New Testament, which is the interpretation of the Old Testament, things are made clearer. The law is set apart from the Ten Commandments. The teaching of the Ten Commandments is a love walk. Thou shalt love the Lord your God. Thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself. Now, when I love you, I won't steal from you. When I love you, I will not defraud you.
that. My point
Okay?
here is,
So the point
Prophet,
is
my
this.
point is the distinction between the law of Moses and the Ten Commandments.
Yes.
You say the law of Moses is gone.
Yes.
But the Ten Commandments is
It's
not
not
gone.
gone because
Now, Jesus Christ is the one who said that I have come to fulfill the law. And when he said it, he was talking about Ten Commandments.
no, he wasn't.
Okay, I will say that he was talking about Ten Commandments
No,
because
he
the
wasn't.
things that